Hale, that's they just came in late, but that's Laura's nephew and niece-in-law or whatever you call it. So thanks for coming, guys. Okay, I like I said, I wrote this speech. Oh, come on in, Carmen. Carmen is also Laura's sister. So go ahead and sit. So I wrote this speech, and it was really boring. I even got bored rehearsing it. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm not supposed to get emotional, but here I am emotional. Yeah. But I want to thank some people, and I'm going to, and this is not in order of importance, but I'm going to start with the unit. I want to thank the unit for the last 4 years and for all the time that I've spent with you. And then probably most importantly, I want to thank my wife. She has been a joy in my life, and her family. They've adopted me. I'm kind of like I don't know if I'm a surrogate aunt, uncle or grandpa or what I am, but I do appreciate the relationships I have with her family. And then I want to thank my own children. Josh and Sarah and my grandson Warren are here representing my children. If I go back and add up all my points that I have for retirement, it comes up to 7.3 years. So I've spent 7.3 years of my life as if I were on active duty. And Josh and his siblings kind of took the brunt of that, and my wife as well. The other group I want to thank is bear with me here. The other group I want to thank is the group that's not here, our fallen comrades. I've been so blessed in my life, and there are thousands and thousands that have gone before me that have given us what we have here. All the wars that have been fought, and including the ones that we just got done with Afghanistan and Iraq. And so I'm just going to pause here for just for a brief moment, maybe 5-10 seconds, and let's just all think about those who are not here, those who gave the ultimate sacrifice. Okay, thank you. And then the other group I need to thank is my parents, And I mentioned that my mom is getting a little older, and so she has health issues. My father's passed away, so Uncle Reed's here representing my father. Uncle Roger's here representing my mother. But I can remember as a small child, I probably wasn't, I was bigger than Warren, but I was probably 3 or 4 years old, and I remember my mother telling a story about her dad. My maternal grandfather, he served in World War II, and he was like Josh and Sarah. He had 2 little girls, and one of those little girls was my mother. And he went to war, and he was drafted, served in World War II, served honorably. And my mom tells a story of how she waited by the window because she knew that her dad was coming home. And she was so happy to see him as he came walking through the door, and she hadn't seen him for a year. I think he was gone like a year and a half. And that story had a big influence on me, even though I didn't realize it at the time. And then my own father. My father is very analytical and very. He likes to talk and debate and a lot. And I can remember my grandpa, my paternal grandpa would come over, and they would have these long discussions about the Constitution, about politics, just everything that you can think of. They were just always talking and debating and discussing these things. And even though I was young and I didn't understand most of what they were talking about, it did have an effect on me, and it helped build my value system. And so as I grew up and I found myself at college trying to figure out how I was going to pay for it, and then I talked to the ROTC recruiters, and there was something that clicked with me where, and at the time I didn't realize it, but I was acting out my values. I was acting out the idea that I was willing to give my life for something that, for God, family, and country, for something that was better than I was, or bigger than I was, more important than I was. And, I didn't think that at the time, but just reflecting over the past 24 years, I realized that the way I was brought up, the values that were instilled in me by my parents are what helped me make the decisions that I made. So anyway, that's, I think I've said enough. That's probably enough. I'm so thankful. I'm overwhelmed that you're all here. This is just amazing to me. I really appreciate you all coming. And I just love you all. God bless America. Thank you.